So yeah, today I will be talking on crowdfunding. So yeah, before getting started, first you all have your lunch. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay then. First let's start with the intro. So as you know, my name is Brad Desai. So currently I am a third year student. I am Google Summer of Code student and I am contributing to Opia as an Android developer. And I'm a GitHub campus expert. I'm pretty active in student communities and I'm also building communities on my own. And yeah, I'm a blockchain developer and building on Tezos. So you can also scan this QR code to connect with me. There are various social links here. There's a link to link. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, first of all, before getting started with the crowdfunding and all, how the blockchain will help, first let's understand that what is crowdfunding, right? Because it is important to know what is it. So in general, you might know that crowdfunding is like getting money from people. So you will create a campaign and people will give their funds for that. So it's kind of fundraising, okay, basically. So yeah, so fundraising is not also it's kind of one type. So there are multiple types of crowdfunding. So crowdfunding will be either on the charity base. So charity base means you can say like there is a platforms like it's keto.org. Okay, so these platforms are like helping the poor people to raise the funds. For example, they need funds for the medical or the education and expense. So they can create a campaigns and they can raise funds through these platforms. So that is a charity based crowdfunding. Then we have next as the reward based crowdfunding. So in charity we don't get anything back whatever we donate. Okay, it's just a charity. Then in reward based we get some monetary reward in return of whatever we have donated. Maybe a kind of some merchandise, some special access or kind of thing. And then we have the equity based, and it's pretty simple. Like if you are in the stock market and all, so it's a kind of same thing, equity based crowdfunding, where you will give your money and in return you will get equity or stocks. Okay, so yeah, that's about these types of crowdfunding, and there are more crowdfunding are also like that tap based crowdfunding. Then there is for houses or for real estate also there is a crowdfunding. So yeah, that's pretty much about it. Okay, so now you know what is crowdfunding. Now let's see like how big is the market size. Okay, you know like what's a crowdfunding. Now see, the market size is really big. You can just see the stats here. There is one platform, GoFundMe, which is just a single platform. Until now, it has raised funds around 15 billion US dollars. So just imagine that how big is this industry. Okay, and also there are more platforms. This is just about one platform, that is GoFundMe. There is another Kickstarter, which have raised around 6.77 million US dollar. And Kickstarter is also one of the famous platform to raise funds for any startups and projects. Okay. Yeah, and it is expected that till 2026 the market will raise around 240 billion US dollar, and this is just based on the current situation. Okay, so currently most of the stats are based on the Web2 based platforms. So whatever currently going on, but if we use the blockchain here, we build the system more robust, more secure, more transparent, then this will grow beyond whatever we think. Right? So it's really a very big industry. Yeah. So next, yeah. So now you say like, okay, the crowdfunding is there. It's going on since like 1990s. Like before internet also we are doing crowdfunding. So why we need a blockchain? Okay. So what are the flaws in current system? So one of the big flaws is that currently all the Web2 based system is running by a single platform. Okay. So they all are centralized, and one organization who is running that company is handling all the funds, all the campaigns, all the things which are doing on the platform. So what's the problem with that is that the fees are too much. Okay, so like for Kickstarter or GoFundMe, you have to pay around 5% transaction fees. So just imagine like people are transacting in lakhs and crores and like too much, and you have to pay that per transaction fees just for platform. So 5% is a pretty big amount. And it's not just about transaction fees, it's also that you have to pay some processing fees and some more taxes and also are there. So the thing is that if you build it using a blockchain, then this fees will be reduced. So you just have to pay the gas fees for transaction, and that's it. You don't have to pay any platform fees. Then the next thing is centralization, as I said. So yeah, the trust issue came here, right? So, like, if you are donating any money to any NGO, then you should trust them blindly that yeah, that NGO will use your funds for good use only. Okay, we don't know where their funds are using. They are not giving us any proof that we have given, and even if they are giving us the proof, but we are not sure whether it's true or not. Okay, so that's the issues with the current platform, and yeah, the limited visibility. So, whatever transactions which are doing are in arrogant means fiat currencies. So that currency is like, if the platform is based in India, then we just able to give money to INR, and if we want to do it in international transaction, then again we have to pay some more converting fees, and like some rules are there that you can't give the money directly. So yeah, that's all are the issues with the current platform. So let's see now how we can solve it using blockchain. Okay, so as you know, blockchain is a decentralized, so we don't need any particular organization or a platform to manage all the things. All things will be handled through smart contracts, will be automated, so we just deploy smart contract once and everything will be handled by it. We don't need to set up an organization, set up an office and do all the stuff. Okay, just deploy smart contract, create a platform, that's it. Then, yeah, accountability is also there. So, all whatever transactions are doing in the blockchain, they all are public. Okay. So you can check out that where the funds are actually using, and yeah, basically you can consider it as a DeFi, decentralized finance system. Okay, where you gather money from people and you can show that where that money is used. So yeah, that's about normal like what blockchain gives us. Then there are more advanced things which blockchain provides. That is this DAOs and tokenization. So DAO, you all know, like it's a decentralized autonomous organization. So how the DAO can help in the crowdfunding is, so if there is some project, some campaign is going on which is not good or it's kind of fishy, looks scam, then one person can do a proposal that hey, this looks fishy. Then what others can do it, they can vote, and based on the voting that project will be down. So currently this is happening through centralization. Like if like the company who is running that platform will have whole control. So yeah, this will be done through DAOs. The decision, whatever decision should be taken for the platform should be done through this. Then there is also a concept of tokenization. So like I have told you that there is equity-based crowdfunding, also reward-based also. So what we can do is we can issue an NFT or give tokens in return whatever the person have donated. So this is basically, you can say, of ICOs is there, right? You may know ICO, initial coin offering. So they are doing the same thing. They are just promoting their project. So you will give them the stable coin, stable currency, and in return you will get the token of that project. And using that token, maybe if that project is listed, that token will have some real value. Or either we can use the same token and NFTs as a voting power, so that whoever person has that NFTs or token, they can participate in voting. So yeah, that's how we can actually use this thing and the crowdfunding. Next thing. So this is pretty a cool concept. So if you know a Gitcoin, then you know this thing. It's a quadratic funding. So in quadratic funding, what happens is, all the funds which you are donating is not directly going to that person. It will be distributed based on the number of people have donated. So yeah, first I will make you understand what the concept is. Then we will see how we can use in crowdfunding. So see, here there are two campaigns, campaign A and campaign B. So for example, in campaign 1 there is only one contributor who have donated $100, and in campaign B 10 contributors have donated $10 each. So the both funded amount will be $100 only, but the matched amount will be like in campaign A the project will get only $18, and in the next project the campaign B, in which more people have donated, will get more money, like it's $1 million. Okay, so where this can be used in crowdfunding. So see, like there are some people who don't want that, like they don't want to donate to just one project. Okay, they just want to do charity, or they just want to give their funds. They don't want that. They don't want to do it to give it to particular person. So what they can do is they can just give them money to this project quadratic funding, and the quadratic funding will get all the money from it will create a pool of money from all of the people who have donated, and from that, based on this voting, the money will be distributed. So this will be a pretty cool thing, and it is actually used by a big platform which is Bitcoin. So if you don't know about it, do check it out. It's for developers and projects. So if you have any project or any startup or kind of thing, you can definitely check it out. So from there, you can raise funds in crypto. And Pomelo is also there. Bitcoin is like pretty famous. Okay, so yeah, that's it. And yeah, thank you for listening my talk. Thank you.